Yo, what's up, it's your boy Shadow_Slayer22, back with another episode of the Pokemon Nuzlocke. This is the grand finale. We're gonna hopefully grind this team up to be a slightly higher level, so we can face Elite Four. And by the way, this finale is pre-recorded, so if none of your guys' input, if you put anything there, is in this video, then that's why. Sorry, but this series has been hella fun. I've just really wanted to keep playing through the game and beat this to truly prove my gamer credentials. So yeah, and also there can be other content now. I can finally do Minecraft again, so that's fun. But anyway, I'm gonna grind up and I'll see you in a sec. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and montage time. Okay guys, we've leveled up a little bit, not a drastic amount, but we're gonna take on the Elite Four. I don't know if we can grind for much longer. We're gonna max out on full restores. I guess we'll get a few of them. Let's sell some stuff for now, just so we can truly optimize it. Get rid of a paralyze. Ether will need. I don't know about the X stuff, but we'll see. We don't really need the repels. And then the max revive. Now we'll keep the full heals. And then just maybe we'll get a bunch of max potions. Okay, well, there we go. It's gonna be risky as hell, this. Oh, this is voiceover Shadow_Slayer22. This is me currently editing this. Now, if you're wondering why I'm doing a voiceover now, is apparent to like live commentary. Well, essentially, I didn't know at this point whether I was actually going to defeat the Elite Four or not, especially considering how underleveled I was. So I decided to turn off my mic and just focus for the majority of the Elite Four members and just try your way through. Now, as you can see here, my plan is just to get Brain as high leveled as I could. I was relying entirely on him being the fat carry for the Elite Four, considering that 3, if not 4 of my Pokemon were massively underleveled. Like, Casper's only level 30, Joey's level 40, and even though got a lot of HP, there's like, can only take a max of 2 hits, Chad, like at all. So anyway, I've started stacking up some good moves. As you can see, Calm Mind, that was the move that I was really banking on. I mean, I never really used counter throughout like the whole of his playthrough, so I never know why I really taught it to Brain. But we proceeded to stack him up with some good moves, and we decided to give moves that really could have been very useful in these battles, like Steel Wing and Overheat to Melvin, and really just allow our team to give the final punch that we could. But as I say, I didn't know, and I guess you guys, unless you skip to the end, won't know if I did win this Nuzlocke or not. Which is, I think, a good like 10th thing of doing a post voiceover, because I'm aware whether I've won or lost. But granted, it's not very, I imagine it's not very motivating, or I'd be overexcited either way. So I think I'm doing a good delivery, being fairly monotone, add some obscurity to the viewers. But as I say, just stacking up on moves, seeing anything that work. Toxic and Raw, I'll put them on Joey. If Joey, did I put Raw on Joey? I don't know. I just went put these moves on individual Pokemon and see if they work or they stick. And I went, the whole gimmick with Joey is that he was just significantly faster than every other Pokemon. Yeah, I did put Raw and Joey. So I was just planning that if I ever needed a Pokemon to like do a quick bit of damage or finish off a Pokemon, I just throw in Joey. That was their main role. Casper's main role, despite being underleveled, was if I knew a Pokemon could only really use normal moves, I would sub into Casper, and Chad's was just to take beatings just from that immensely high HP. But yeah, those are the plans. Now, this is the Lorelei battle beginning. This is, in my opinion, is the hardest Elite Four battle, really. I mean, like, there's so little counter. So what I decided to do, I could have either led with Joey and tried relying on Shockwave, which is a horrible electric type move, might I add. Like, I had no joy throughout most of his playthrough using it. I mean, granted against the lower likes, but I was like, level 50s, this is going to do nothing. Absolutely nothing. So what I proceeded to do is Calm Mind spam. I realised Dugong doesn't do that much damage. I mean, it's a bit threatening if it gets a crit, but especially considering Calm Mind strengthens your special defense, it was very good at just building up a tolerance for Brain here, as he's just getting stronger and stronger, and really just Lorelei just won't be able to cope with him in a couple turns. Now obviously I realise that he is still very fragile, and the main opening strat here was just to recover and Calm Mind and just get as much stat boosts as possible while preserving a lot of my healing stuff, because I really didn't know if I got enough healing, just mainly because I don't know if it was a good idea or not to have like spent so much money on the things like iron and zinc and all that to like boost stats. And over I put a lot of emphasis on speed for Brain and for Joey, just because of I really wanted them to outspeed, but they are horribly expensive, so that was probably a poor usage of my money. But anyway, still Brain bulking up, really trying to prepare for the sweep. Very resistant to these ice beams and surfs, really. I mean, hail was a very much annoying consideration that I had to do, because of if it was all good if they did like damage and I lived, but hail was could have very much been a finishing blow if I didn't like prepare for the damage it could do. So I'm just keeping track each time. I'm like, oh, that does 7 damage. We'll recover because of I think that one of their moves will do at least 32 damage. And I just keep building away. Granted, that did do less, but you got to be safe and prepared. And after a couple turns, I went, you know what? We've calm-minded enough. I think I maxed out my calm-mindedness, so I had maximum special attack boosts. And as you see there, I just one-shot Dugong. Now, this is probably one of the scariest Pokemon in the whole of the Elite Four, really. Lapras. The issue is it just usually is so tanky. You can take tons of hits, but because of I was like, oh, I've upped my special so much, I'll just go for a Psybeam. And luckily, if you see how slow that health is depleting, luckily I killed it with one hit. But otherwise, I think Brain would have been done just from if it uses a sync. The thing is, although we've got our special defense very high, if one of these Pokemon uses a normal attacking move, so anything physical, anything like a Body Slam or a Mach Punch or whatever, Brain is just gone. Just simply for the horrible defense that he has. It's entirely like a gimmick. He's the greatest glass cannon I've ever had the joy of using at any point. But we just recover, we go, Cloyster's just gonna protect. We'll recover. We'll use Psybeam now and just proceed to try one shot. And we luckily do. And then we gain a little bit more XP, just stacking up, and I go, I've got enough boosts with Brain here now, where even though Psychic won't be super effective against Psychic, I can still use these against Pokemon and expect them to do tons of damage. And Amnesia, I don't really care about Amnesia at this point. I was like, good increase in special defense, but that is tons of damage. And you may be like, yo, Shadow_Slayer22, why didn't you swap at any point? And I was like, well, I've bulked out Brain a lot, and I decided to swap for the Jinx here, just simply because of the Psychic types are difficult to deal with Psychic moves. So I went Melvin, especially with Overheat. Overheat is a phenomenal move, as you can see here. It just absolutely obliterates Jinx. I was like, this is a much safer option, especially considering the... I don't know if Ice Punch counts as a physical move, but if it does, that would have definitely been a rough time for Brain. But anyway, we defeat Lorelei here, and we move on to the next gym lead. Well, not gym lead, the Elite Four member, and this is Bruno. Bruno is very scary guy, and we just go straight into it. I was like, I'm gonna use a similar, if not the same, strategy. However, I've got to be a lot more ruthless with Bruno because of all. Even though this is usually the easiest one, all of his Pokemon are physical attackers, really. So I can like Carmine once, and they use a very scary move, Rock Tomb, which like decreases speed, I'm pretty sure, or something. It's a very scary move. So I just use Psychic, luckily get a one-shot, and I was like, okay, we're just going to use Psychic over and over and over again. If we keep one-shotting here, this is an easy sweep, and we still have 5 more Psychics for the next Elite Four member. Because my strategy was to just wipe through the Elite Four with Brain, at least the first 3 members. The Lorelei was an immensely good strategy, but I just knew if we could get the setup off, it'd be very well executed. Whereas with this, I was like, I'm not taking a chance of getting here at all here. We have the super effectiveness, and they are physical attackers. I just have to hit and pray that Psychic does the damage. And luckily, Brain is significantly higher level than a lot of these, so really Psychic should one-shot for most of these anyway. So I just proceed to keep going at it, trying to whittle it down, trying to get safe. This is probably the scariest one, his Ace, Machamp. Just, as you see, 1 level below Brain. This is this would be almost a clean sweep, I imagine, if Brain died, just because of the sheer strength. Maybe Betty could have put up a fight, but I needed Betty especially for after this and Agatha. Just mainly because of the difficulty with facing Lance is just immense in terms of dragon type coverage, because my only hope there was Gyarados. I don't think any other Pokemon I had could have done much. Maybe if I took like an ice move to Chad, but even then Chad was just so underleveled. So we open up with the same strategy here. This is really a test of speed here, because of Gengar is rapid, but Brain is faster luckily, and I think that the using the speed increases really helped with Brain through this run, especially outspeeding likes of that Golbat. Just any of these hits, well, anything hits Brain, then they're just gonna health just gonna deplete and sink. There's gonna be like no way of recovering. So we luckily defeat the first member, but anything could go wrong at this point. Anything, because the Brain just feels so little. But I stuck to my guns, and I went, you know what? Any other Pokemon through here is gonna knacker up my resources. I just have to hope Brain just goes through and the one-shots everything. And that luckily came to fruition most of the time. And Brain got away with it and really just destroyed for the most part, and really conserved our healing, which was the most important thing, because we needed tanks like Chad to just take a lot of the beating if we ever needed to swap, because bar a couple of mons we could just sack off and be like, oh, they can just take a free hit. We needed one that could take at least 2, so we could heal spam essentially. There's no point in a Pokemon taking a hit unless it's to swap out to another one without that one taking a hit. That's the only way of doing it really. But we beat Agatha, and we move on to Lance. So I'm just checking through my stuff. I'm like, okay, before we first sing Lance, let's teach, looking through here for any ice moves, any dragon moves really. And I know that Dragon Claw can't be taught to any more Pokemon, but I'm like, oh, Blizzard, that would be very useful You know, like Chad is just doesn't have good enough attacking or at least special attacking stats to make the most out of Blizzard. So I take a real risk here with teaching Blizzard to Bay simply because of, like, Bite is a very good move, but we couldn't get rid of any of the other ones because they were bloody HMs. We couldn't get rid of them. I was like, oh, I hate strength. What's the point of me having strength here? But I can't get rid of it. So I also just rush through, just go with the punches essentially, and then I come to a halt here against Lance, and I'm like, okay, what would my strategy be? I guess I should lead with Joey because whatever reason, and I think I should Ether Psychic because of its very much been our best move throughout this run. Even though it's not going to be useful against Lance specifically, by God would Brain have been a much worse Pokemon if not for Psychic. But we run through and we challenge Lance. This is the be all and end all really. Luckily we've managed to keep most of our Pokemon for this run, but here's where it gets shakiest. We start with Joey, and Joey's got no chance here really. We're hoping to just use the speed and get through. We use double team hoping that Gyarados will miss a couple moves, which luckily it misses that Hyper Beam. And we go, okay, it missed the move, I don't know if it's going to miss two, so we'll use Shockwave. We could have used that first turn, but it's also, if we don't double team, they're not going to miss both. And you can see that does half HP, but sadly, Hyper Beam. The end, a fallen soldier in Joey just couldn't withstand it. But then we went to the following plan. We went, okay, we'll roll out Chad. We're gonna try put Gyarados to sleep while it's recharging. Chad can take a hit or two. It can handle a Hyper Beam. It's got a lot of HP. And we're like, oh, Dragon Rage, easy eating up. It does guaranteed 40 HP, and Chad can take 5 of them. He's no struggle at all. And I go to sleep, and I go, okay, we'll swap, and hopefully Brain can do a little bit more damage than Chad here. Just a little bit. Just because that body slam was lacking a tiny bit, and hopefully they just sleep long enough. So we use Psychic, and we luckily just about defeat Gyarados. Now they swap to Aerodactyl, and this is really one of the scariest mons that Lance has up his sleeve. Simply because of the bar Betty, we have like no coverage for Aerodactyl, and it is rapid as out. So along with it being tons of levels higher, it also just outspeeds us 9 times out of 10. And as you can see here, it just does half HP, outspeeds us, and we have to play extremely safe. So I'm thinking, okay, Hyper Potion. Yeah, we'll use a Hyper Potion. Make sure Betty's safe. And they use Ancient Power again, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be a cycle here. But then I realize here that if you see, they do just under half HP. They got a low roll, and they got another low roll, and Betty survives and just 3 HP, and we get another Surf off. And what's best of all is that for Hyper Potions, they would heal 200, but I take a major risk here in a sec, and I use Surf. This was really just a soul read, simply because if I went, okay, Lance, low HP, they're going to want to full restore Aerodactyl here. So I go, okay, to really optimize this, I'm going to Surf, and I go, okay, crit, red HP again. That was very lucky, but we're going to Hyper Potion. We're not going to test our luck here. We're not going to risk it again. I don't think Lance is going to waste 2 full restores on Aerodactyl, and it just does tons of damage, and I'm like, oh, that's a high roll. We need to play it real safe here. So I go back into my bag, I grab a Hyper Potion, I go, you're gonna survive here, Betty. You're gonna get at least past this Aerodactyl. No struggle. And I go, okay. We lived before on 79. If it's a crit, it's a crit. And then we get hyper beamed. And Betty's struggling, but they managed to live somehow. And Aerodactyl falls. Great. And Aerodactyl falls. And just about Betty is alive. And I go, okay, we really rode our luck here. We're gonna Hyper Potion back up again. We've got 5 Pokemon left. And Betty's gonna carry us at least through Lance, hopefully. Please. We use Blizzard. And it does... It could do better. But half HP, good exchange, outrage again, and that does consistently 51. So I really have to heal. I get out the Hyper Potion, I max out Betty's health again, and I'm like, okay, Betty can take 2 hits, and I can heal back, really here. And I'm like, oh, confused. Okay, here's a chance. We put pressure on, we use Blizzard. And we hope that this kills, and if it doesn't, we hope they hit themselves in confusion and they just live, but they're frozen solid. And I go, you know what? Lance is gonna proceed, even with this little HP. Lance is still gonna try something, but we miss. With Blizzard we miss, and they hurt themselves, and we just somehow won that exchange. But yeah, that's good enough. I went to the next Dragonair, and there's 2 Pokemon left of Lance, so hopefully we get past Lance. This could be a sweep still, because Dragonite is his ace. It's still backed up there, and it's still scary as out. But Dragonair, half HP down, and doing tons of damage still. But Betty can take the hits, can roll with the punches. And the outrage again, doing tons of damage, but they're confused again due to fatigue. So we go, okay, we're gonna twist the spam. Twist is a dragon move, it could cause flinching. They should do decent-ish damage, and it does very little, but has a chance of flinching, and they could hurt themselves in confusion, which they do there. And we go, okay, we're gonna use it again. Lance uses a full restore, kind of nullifies the whole plan. But you know what, Twister will still do alright damage. We don't really want to waste Blizzard, the final Blizzard move on Dragonair here. More simply because we want to use it on Dragonite, see if we can ride our luck, beat Dragonite, get through and have the full team nearly, bar Joey, in the final battle. And Betty really putting on the pressure, showing how much of an MVP she is. Do's Twister again, decent damage, but then Dragonair uses Hyper Beam, and could be all over for Betty, but just lives with a sliver of HP. And even though Dragonair's got a recharge, I go, you know what, we best heal Betty still. We use Twister again, and it brings down to red, uses Dragon Rage, and this is surely another kill for Betty. Dragonair gets twisted on again and gets defeated by Betty yet again, but we're facing the greatest foe so far in the Elite Four, Lance's Dragonite, level 60 in all its glory. And we go, okay, Blizzard, do something for us, do a decent sum of damage, do anything really. And it does just under half. We have no more Blizzards left. And Dragonite uses Hyper Beam, and Betty's took 2 of these before, but falls. And Betty's gone. And we hardly have someone to check out, so we go, okay, Melvin, can you do something for me? And uses Overheat, hopes for tons of damage, stab, fire move, but it does just under a quarter. Or maybe just over. But then Dragonite's got a recharge, but they have a berry! They have a berry attached. I really should have equipped my Pokemon with some berries. We use Steel Wing. And it does alrightish damage, but here's the win condition almost. Dragonite uses Outrage, and when you use Outrage, you get confused after a while. And this means we just need to spam Hyper Potions until Dragonite runs out of Outrage, and will just simply defeat itself. So, yet another Outrage attacked. Use Outrage again, and Melvin surviving by the skin of their teeth, and now Dragonite's confused. So we go, okay, Hyper Potion again, not Hyper Beam again. Hyper Potion, and bring Melvin back to full, and Dragonite hurts itself in confusion. So I go, okay, Steel Wing, maybe? Or do we rely on it hitting himself? You know what? Flamethrower. Do tons of damage. It does nothing. Dragonite's confused. Can it hit itself? Used Hyper Beam. And the real question is, can Melvin tank a Hyper Beam? And just about survives. But Melvin, outspeeding, goes, okay, we'll use Steel Wing. We'll see if that finishes off. And it just does. That's Lance, the final member of the Elite Four, taken down. And I'll bring it to you now with the live version, the live recording of the one, the only Shadow_Slayer22, and plans to defeat the current champion. Whew. The pressure is truly on, and we gotta go. So yeah, what order do we even go in? I guess Shadleys? No. Maybe though. What if we just try Cripple Pidgeot? And then we just bulk up Alakazam. Not Alakazam, Kadabra. Brain. Because Brain's really our only option here. It's also a lot tankier. Get a power. Hear me out, we swap to Melvin. And we just wear down Pidgeot, we make Pidgeot use up everything. We try and knock her up everything. Yep. I don't mind that. I think this is the only way we win. What if we flamethrower? Burn, great. I just make Chad more defensive? And we can use the exit attack on Chad. Or not. I think only Melvin could stand a chance here. Tank it, Melvin. I believe in you. You can take one sidekick. Yes. What the? Melvin, I hate you. They only have 10 psychics, though. What do you mean? How does that not kill? Oh wait, this means that they should surely do like no damage to me. Maybe we set up against the Alakazam, maybe that's the strat. I think that is the strat. Please, no crit. I guess we use recover. Recover again. Really maxing it out. As we should. Safe as out. And the only way we can die in this... Okay, we won't really... Okay, we've now maxed it. The only way I think we can die here against Alakazam is if we get Psychic Crit. If we get Psychic Crit and then Future Sight Crit back to back. Oh, we failed. We killed Alakazam and Brain is set up! Ooh, this is where it can be hype. Gyarados, I don't care about the intimidation. It only affects our normal attack. What it won't affect is Psychic! And we outspeed. Please, that should be a one-shot by like every single metric. Yes! No way. 6 Future Sight set up. High special attack outspeeds every single thing towards Brain side. No way you don't get one shot. Yes! The setups! The setups! This proves it. I wouldn't say this proves it. Kadabra's better than Alakazam, but really we had the level advantage. It's just we had better movesets. They had Reflect. We had bloody Calm Mind. The composure. Just Brain's ability to roll. But a glorious man. He did it! Let's go! We won the Nuzlocke! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Hall of Fame! Let's go! This is great. This is a historic moment in the Shadow_Slayer22 channel. Shadow has beat Slayer. And we have won the Nuzlocke. Now, let's respect the honorary champions and immortalize them forever in the Hall of Fame. Let's go! Let's look at my champions, them heroes. They made the sacrifice. Look at them. Kings. Joey, you did everything you could. Chad, you somehow lived till the end. Brain, MVP! Casper, I'm pretty sure you lived. Melvin, Brave Soul, and Betty, Great Fallen Soldier. I love thee truest. Well done. We are champions in the Hall of Fame, and we beat it in less than 24 hours. We won. Let the credits roll. We are kings. We are immortalized. And this is history. Hit the dash. Let's go. I'll let this play. I'll let it sink in. I'll let you know that we are the champions. We beat. Or more importantly, I guess because I mean you guys named some of them, so I'll let you take credit. But we are champions today. We have won, and we will not only celebrate, but pay respect to our fallen few. By few, in fairness, we've had more fall than bloody win, but still, this is great. We're gonna recap over everywhere we've been. There's a horrible Charizard we absolutely slain. Not even a problem. Literally one shot. That's all you need with your brain. Look, Misty Jim. Back when so many of our team was alive, we had only one member that made it to the Hall of Fame that was there. And that's Betty. Fallen Betty. Raked Betty. Oh, Jesus. I'm blown away. This series took tons of effort, guys. So, if you're not already in this promotion at the end, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe if you enjoyed. And check out my other videos. And if you want to see another Nuzlocke, then I'll do it if this video specifically gets 20 likes. I know that is an achievable goal, okay? Tell your friends, tell everyone you know, if you've enjoyed this series, to at least leave a like on this video, and you'll see another one. Whether it be a different game, a randomizer, whatever it'll be, we'll visit the world of Pokemon again, and we'll do another Nuzlocke, and we'll have another team immortalized in the Hall of Fame. If I win, that is. Granted, I could lose the next one. This one went surprisingly well for a first attempt. My god. True soldiers. Look at it, it's amazing. Nearly 18 hours of gameplay. And you guys have seen like 15 of it, I think, maybe less. Series is, I mean, it's not gonna be a speedrun record or anything, but it was alright. If only we caught a Pikachu early on. Imagine how much easier Misty would have been. But then we wouldn't have had the legend Joey, who made it to the bloody Hall of Fame. How would he do that when he didn't know a single good electric move? You know, that's one thing I'm gonna do. After this, I'm gonna check if Jolteon ever learns a good electric move. There you go. The end. And by the way, we're not doing post credits. We can't catch enough Pokemon in the Nuzlocke format to do post credits, so we won't get a Battle Mewtwo or anything. I'll save the file nonetheless, and we could visit it again if we want. And we're back home. There's Professor Oak. It's more importantly, oh no guys, I've cheated. I've used Joey in the automatic healing thing. I'm just gonna do a last honorary thing, if these random encounters don't ruin it for me. And the first town we went to, we will pay respects to the fallen many for the glory of the chosen few. Joey, you were great, you were grand. Who do I put to rest? Betty, you're there from the start. Hero, brave, and truest, Melvin. Look, this is a team of heroes. Let the respects be paid to the dead many. The fallen soldiers. From Melvin to Betty to Joey to the one from the beginning, Pikachu. The later legends like Requis and the glory of Nick has never got to bloom. Look, Nick could have made our goddamn final squad. That actually annoys me, that. Look, Nick was better than goddamn Casper. That annoys the hell out of me, that. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed. This has been your boy, Shadow_Slayer22. And that's the end of the Nuzlocke series. I'll see you next time. Bye!